Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the Trump criminal conviction again. And the topic is how the prosecutors bringing in a ringer can tell us about your injury case and what the other side thinks about your injury case. So what am I talking about? So some of you may be aware that in the Trump trial, the state prosecutor's office, I think the guy's name is Alvin Bragg. Some of you may know this or you may not know this. They actually brought in a federal court prosecutor to prosecute Trump in a state court case. Now, this guy didn't work for the state of New York, and most prosecutors, the district attorneys, have to work for the state, right? But they went out of their way and hired a federal court prosecutor to come in and prosecute Trump. In other words, they brought in a ringer. Now, what happens in your injury case, and what does it tell us if they bring in a senior trial attorney to try your injury case? I'll tell you what it means and why the Trump thing is relevant. It means they're worried. So I suspect what happened in the Trump trial is they were a little bit worried about their state prosecutor being able to prove the case. And they wanted somebody with a lot of clout, a lot of reputation, a lot of experience to come in and try the Trump case, the Trump criminal case, to get those convictions, right? And pull and reputation, it affects everybody. So if a famous lawyer or a lawyer with a lot of political clout and pull appears in front of a judge, as much as they want to act impartial, it has an effect, right? So that's what they did in the Trump prosecution, and they got the conviction. How is that relevant to your case, and what does it tell us in your injury case if the attorney handling the case gets pulled, or they add a more senior attorney, a senior partner, or they go out and hire an additional attorney to help try the case? It means they're terrified. In a civil case, when they do that, in an injury case like the ones I handle, I love it when they bring in another attorney to try the case. You want to know why? It means they're afraid. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that our best tool against insurance companies is that we're going to beat the number they think the case is worth. Because remember, insurance companies make profits by collecting premiums and then setting what's called a reserve on an injury case as to, like, worst case scenario, how much will we have to pay? And when we beat that reserve, first of all, you'll never, I don't think, without a senior claims person, you'll never beat the reserve in a settlement. And we'll never really know what the reserve is in a settlement because they'll never tell us. We'll never know what it is. I usually have a pretty good idea based on years of experience and all that stuff. And, having settled thousands upon thousands of cases, I can usually guess pretty accurately. But what are we talking about? What are we talking about? At trial, they know that the reserve doesn't mean anything. The judge and jury can award whatever they think we've proven. So I know that when my opponent blinks and they bring in another lawyer to try the case, they know I'm going to beat them. So some lawyers hate it because it introduces uncertainty. They don't know the new lawyer. They haven't been at depositions or court hearings with them, right? And it makes them nervous. In my case, what the other side does at trial, I don't really care. It could be, the best lawyer in the world or the newest lawyer who just got out of law school as my opponent. It's not going to change what I do. By the time I'm ready to go to trial, I'm ready to go. So it doesn't make me upset or nervous at all. Obviously, I'd love to try my cases against, inexperienced, barely competent attorneys. But when you put an injury case together the right way, it can really, it almost becomes irrelevant who your opponent is. Very little of my trial strategy and what I do at trial has anything to do with who my opponent is, how experienced they are, or even what they argue, what their theory of the case is. I need to have a good idea of what their theory of the case is, and I usually do. But it doesn't really matter to me if it changes or anything like that at all, because I know what I'm doing on the case. And that's an important part of the way I handle trial cases. What my opponent does is irrelevant. So anyway, that is how bringing in a ringer on the other side affects your injury case. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I don't run into anybody over here. So that's how the Trump prosecution bringing in a ringer can have, tell you something if they do it in your injury case. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your viewership and your subscribers. And thanks so much to all of you who ask questions and refer me your friends and family members who need an injury lawyer. I really appreciate it. Couldn't do this without your help. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know has been hurt in an accident and needs a lawyer, or even just has questions, give me a call anytime, day or night, at 312-500-4500. You can call me anytime, day or night, and the consultation is free. That's 312-500-4500. Or if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I made 2 great tools that really help people out that you can use for free on my website. The links are in the description. The first one is called the Case Cash Calculator, and it tells you what your case might be worth. The other is called the Good Case Calculator, and it tells you whether you might have a good case or you might have a case with some challenges. The best part is that they're 100% free to use on my website, and it only takes you 20 seconds flat to answer 7 multiple choice questions right off the top of your head. And then you get custom information about your particular injury situation fast and for free. So check them out, links in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new videos every week, and this way you'll get notice of them. And if you have a question you'd like answered in a video, just leave a comment with your question in the comments section. Finally, if you enjoy my videos or if I've helped you in any way, I hope you'll consider doing me a favor. Injury law is a very competitive field, and I like having a small independent firm so I can help people who need it. People really rely on Google reviews when deciding who to hire, so I hope you'll consider leaving me a 5-star review on Google. It only takes a few seconds, but it's a favor to me that I would really appreciate. The link is in the description. You just go to that link, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, and you're done. Once again, I hope you and your family are well, and if anyone you know needs an injury lawyer or has questions, please send them my way by calling 312-500-4500. Thanks again for watching. Take care.